The story of Esther. In the tapestry of ancient history, woven with tales of kings and empires, intrigue and courage, one narrative shines as a radiant jewel: the story of Esther. Set against the backdrop of the Persian Empire's opulent courts and shadowy corridors, this biblical account transports us to a time when fate and faith intertwined in a delicate dance that would change the course of history. Esther, a young and unassuming Jewish woman, emerges from obscurity to become a beacon of hope and resilience, navigating a treacherous landscape of power, politics, and personal sacrifice. As we delve into her journey, we uncover a captivating tale of unexpected alliances, hidden identities, and the unwavering strength of a woman who defied all odds to shape the destiny of her people. Step into a world where beauty conceals bravery, where chance battles destiny, and where a single life can alter the course of a mighty empire. This is the extraordinary story of Esther, a testament to the profound impact one person can make when guided by unwavering conviction. Hadassah was Esther's original name. She belonged to the tribe of Benjamin and lived when Israel was in exile. Unfortunately, Hadassah lost her parents when she was young. However, her cousin Mordecai adopted her after her parents passed away. This turned out to be lucky for Hadassah because Mordecai was a man who respected God and cared for her deeply. Despite challenging times, he raised her with love and care. Hadassah lived with Mordecai in Susa under the rule of King Xerxes. The king ruled over a sizable area of the world and wanted everyone to know. Esther chapter 1 verses 4 to 5. For a full 180 days, he displayed the vast wealth of his kingdom and the splendor and glory of his majesty. When these days were over, the king gave a banquet, lasting 7 days, in the enclosed garden of the king's palace, for all the people from the least to the greatest who were in the citadel of Susa. During the king's banquet, the king had become drunk on wine and commanded that his wife, Queen Vashti, come out before everyone to show how beautiful she was. Queen Vashti refused to be paraded before everyone. King Xerxes was so angry at her disrespect and disregard for his request that he divorced her. Now this is where the story gets interesting, probably the first of its kind recorded in the Bible. Esther chapter 2 verses 2 to 4. Let a search be made for beautiful young virgins for the king. Let the king appoint commissioners to every province of his realm to bring all these beautiful young women into the harem at the citadel of Susa. Let them be placed under the care of Haggai, the king's eunuch, who is in charge of the women, and let beauty treatments be given to them. Then let the young woman who pleases the king be queen instead of Vashti. This advice appealed to the king, and he followed it. The king summoned for a nationwide beauty competition to discover a new exquisite queen for the empire, an event that would forever change Hadassah's life trajectory. Following the issuance of the decree, they began selecting young maidens, among them Hadassah, who eventually emerged as Esther. Following her cousin Mordecai's guidance, she concealed her origin. Mordecai held a low-ranking position in Susa's Persian administration, and the rationale behind his decision to safeguard her nationality will soon become clear. In his pursuit of a fresh queen, the king was disregarding the dignity of numerous young women, depriving them of their innocence and relegating them to the status of concubines. Even though Esther lacked authority over the circumstances unfolding around her, she assumed command over her reactions with modesty and elegance. After a span of a year, her awaited moment to stand in front of the king arrived, during which she was granted the opportunity to present anything that could win his favor. Rather than resorting to manipulation, she chose to place her trust in this pivotal moment. Soon after, Mordecai unearthed a conspiracy orchestrated by two of the king's officials with the intent to assassinate the king. Mordecai confided in Esther about this nefarious plot, and she promptly informed Xerxes, attributing the knowledge to Mordecai. Their swift action foiled the scheme, and Mordecai's benevolent act was duly recorded in the king's chronicles. During this period, the king's most prominent official was a malevolent man named Haman. He held a deep-seated animosity towards the Jews, particularly Mordecai, who had steadfastly refused to bow before him. Haman devised an intricate plan to orchestrate the mass execution of every Jew residing in Persia. The king lent his approval to this sinister proposal, setting a specific day for the eradication of the Jewish populace. Amid these developments, Mordecai got wind of the impending calamity and promptly shared the dire information with Esther. Esther chapter 4 verses 13 to 14, "Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this." These were the words spoken by Mordecai to Esther. Being devout in her faith, Esther implored all the Jews to engage in fasting and prayer, seeking divine deliverance. What she did next was both astonishing and perilous. Esther boldly approached the king and requested that he invite Haman to a banquet. It was at this banquet that she planned to take an audacious step, one that could have dire consequences. She intended to reveal her true identity. As mentioned earlier, Haman harbored a deep-seated hatred for the Jewish people, and his animosity was particularly directed at Mordecai. Finally, he saw an opportunity to exact revenge. In Esther chapter 5 verses 11 to 14, it is recounted that Haman openly boasted about his immense wealth, his numerous offspring, and the king's numerous favors bestowed upon him, elevating him above other nobles and officials. He proudly disclosed that he was the sole individual Queen Esther had invited to accompany the king to her upcoming banquet. However, he expressed that his satisfaction would remain incomplete as long as he kept seeing Mordecai, the Jew, sitting at the king's gate. Haman's wife, Zeresh, and his close friends suggested a gruesome solution. They proposed the construction of a towering 50-cubit pole for the impalement of Mordecai, and they advised Haman to request the king's approval in the morning before attending the banquet. Delighted by this sinister plan, Haman promptly ordered the pole to be erected. Haman's sinister intent to have Mordecai executed coincided with Esther's plan to reveal her identity and expose Haman's intense animosity towards her people. The narrative takes an unforeseen and captivating twist as Esther summons the courage to disclose her true self to the king during the banquet. She also informs him of Haman's nefarious plot to annihilate her and her people. Enraged by this revelation, the king commands that Haman be hanged on the very gallows that he constructed for Mordecai earlier that day. This tale unfolds with the Jewish population being safeguarded, Haman meeting his deserved fate, Esther's cousin Mordecai ascending to a higher position, and the wise and beautiful Esther retaining her role as queen. As a believer, the book of Esther has consistently stood out as one of my cherished biblical stories. Its narrative traverses unexpected twists and turns, akin to a telenovela, maintaining my engagement until the climactic resolution. Yet beyond its compelling storyline, this tale imparts profound lessons. It underscores the significance of patience, wisdom, and timing. Instead of rushing into action, Esther dedicates time to prayer, fasting, and patiently awaits divine guidance on how and when to approach the king. As Christians, we often tend to lose sight of God's presence amid life's challenges. We forget that He is the all-powerful Creator. If only we could exercise patience, seek His assistance, and trust in His timing, He would undoubtedly provide for us at the most opportune moments. Isaiah 40 verse 31, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Waiting for God's timing can often prove to be challenging, yet His timing invariably aligns perfectly. The narrative of Esther serves as a poignant reminder that we should remain vigilant, engage in prayer, and place our trust in the knowledge that God is actively orchestrating events, even causing sleepless nights for those on our prayer list. Recognizing how God exercises His sovereignty in accordance with His own timetable instills a profound sense of reliance on His providence and ability to provide. As a person of faith, I trust that you found this narrative insightful, and I hope that the story of Esther has enriched your spiritual journey. If you found this account intriguing, I kindly ask for your support by showing appreciation for this video through a like and by subscribing to the channel. Moreover, you have the opportunity to click on the notification bell icon to ensure you stay updated with our future videos.